Okay, guys, so this is your review for Capítulo 2A, Chapter 2A, Español 1, Spanish 1. We're going to go over vocabulary, subject pronouns, conjugating AR verbs, and then complete sentences, okay? This is my first time doing this, so bear with me. Okay, so first we're going to talk about vocabulario, vocab. We'll go through and I will say it in English and then Spanish, and then you repeat the Spanish so that you have some practice with pronunciation. So for first, primero o primera. Remember, if it's periodo, which is masculine, you would use primero. If it's hora, which is feminine, you would use primera. So there's the difference there. It's either feminine or masculine because it's an adjective. And remember, adjectives usually come after the noun, but when you're saying like first hour, second hour, it comes before it, just like in English. So first, primero. Second, segundo. And remember, you're repeating after I say this Spanish. Third, tercero. Fourth, cuarto. Fifth, quinto. Sixth, sexto. Seventh, séptimo. 8, octavo. 9th, noveno. 10th, décimo. If it helps you remember, for 8th, OCT, that's something that usually means 8. So like octopus has 8 tentacles. So if that helps you remember that one, yeah. Okay, these are some more vocab here. Remember, in English, we say whatever the class is, and then class. In Español, we say la clase de, and then put in the class. So, for example, la clase de arte would be art class in Español. Okay, so let's go through some of these pronunciations. So for art, arte. Spanish, español. Science, ciencias naturales. Remember that it's very important that you put this naturales part at the end. Otherwise, it could mean something else. Social studies, ciencias sociales. Physical education, educación física. Mathematics, matemáticas. Lunch, el almuerzo. Homework, la tarea. Calculator, la calculadora. 3-ring binder. Let me double check and make sure this was in your, yes, this was in your chapter. 3-ring binder. La carpeta de argollas. Remember, double L is a Y sound. And then dictionary, el diccionario. Bien. So these are subject pronouns. So we went through these, remember, and it helps to, when you're trying to figure out who they're talking about, to say it and then think about what the subject pronoun would be in English. Okay, first. So for I, yo. You, familiar. Tú. You, formal. Remember, this is like if you're talking to a teacher or an elder or something like that, or someone you don't know, you would say usted. He, él. Don't forget that accent on the E. She, ella. We, masculine, nosotros. We, feminine, nosotras. And remember, the only time you can use nosotras is if you are including yourself in the group, because this is we. If you and everyone else in the group is female, then you can use nosotras. Otherwise, if there's at least one male in the group and you're saying we, you have to use nosotros. You, masculine, formal, vosotros. You, feminine, formal, vosotras. You, formal, plural, ustedes. They, masculine, ellos. They, feminine, ellas. Remember, again, just like with nosotros, if you're talking about them over there, like say the girls' soccer team, and they're all female, then you can use ellas. It's the only time. Okay, these are those conjugations for the verb hablar. Remember, that when you have an AR verb, so the infinitive of this verb is hablar. So you have this AR ending, it's an AR ending verb. Step 1, remember, is to drop the AR. So now you have HABL. And that should start all of your conjugations. So you have to look at what the subject you're talking about is. So this is yo, tú, usted, él o ella. This one is nosotros or nosotras. This one's vosotros, vosotras. And this one is ustedes, ellos, ellas, right? Okay, so remember, so now we have HABL, and now you're going to add your endings, right? So for yo, you have that o at the end, hablo, tú, as, hablas, usted, él or ella, habla, nosotros, nosotras, amos, hablamos, vosotros, vosotras, habláis, ustedes, ellos, ellas have that an, hablan. Remember, if it's easy to remember, yo ends in o, so you have an o ending. If you remember that usted, él or ella is an a, remember that to make things plural in Spanish, it's either adding an s or an an, so the plural one would be an. And again, this is for any AR verb, so this is for nadar, estudiar, cantar, any verb that ends in AR, you'll always drop the AR and add the ending that goes with the subject pronoun. Okay, so this is a conversation here. I'm going to read it in Spanish and then translate it for you. You will need to be able to know, full sentences and things like that for the test. So make sure that you keep an open ear out for that, okay? Hola, ¿cuál es tu horario de hoy? So this is saying, hello, what is your schedule? Remember, horario is schedule for today. Then this person says, tengo la clase de español en, and then here we can put en la primera hora, en la segunda hora, depending on what hour you have it, right? Y, which means and, another class. So la clase de matemáticas, for example. En la segunda hora, ¿qué clase es tu favorita? What class is your favorite? And then you can say, mi clase favorita es, my favorite class is, and then say a class, mi clase favorita es la clase de español, for example. Es, this is where you're putting your adjective, es fácil, it's easy, right? Okay. This is the matching now with your vocab. So let's go ahead and go through. I'll read the English on the right, and then we'll see what it matches on the left, okay? So you, feminine, and this is the formal. This would match with vosotras. ¿Cómo se dice, how do you say you need in español? Necesitas, bien. ¿Cómo se dice for? And I'm not sure if we had this in the chapter, but this is how, remember how we said, tengo la clase de español en la primera hora, in first hour. You could also say para la primera hora, for first hour. So anyway, so for goes with para. To teach, remember, when you have to in front of a verb, that's the infinitive, so it ends in either AR, IR, ER, right? So the only one we have over here is enseñar, to teach. And then third, tercero. And remember, that's going to change to tercera if you're saying hora. Okay, bien. So now we have some pictures, and we have to choose some and make a full sentence out of it, right? So I'm just going to give you some examples of what you could say. So for the lunch, you could say, el almuerzo es mi clase favorita, right? Lunch is my favorite hour, or my favorite class, sorry. So you could say that. This one is, you could just talk about a class. So tengo la clase de arte. I have art class, for example, which would also work here. And then this one looks like they're looking at a microscope, so you could say something like ellas, right? You can say ellas because they're both feminine. Ellas estudian, remember, AR verb, And then in the, estudian, AR verb, and in the AS form would be AN. So ellas estudian, and then what class would that be? Science. Estudian ciencias naturales. Remember, you don't have to put la clase de because they don't study the class of science, right? They study science. So estudian ciencias naturales. Bien. Okay, so you should be ready for your test now. This was a review for 2A. Okay, so you can log off now, and we will go ahead and take a practice test, and then trade and grade and see how you do. All right, adios.